so good to be back here in South Carolina, home of the Gamecocks.
The iron Keyshawn swords in from the weak side, however, and gets that done.
There it is.
Driven hard. The Gamecocks will take the series against their rival.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Gamecock Insider. I'm your host, Brad Muller. We've got a lot to show you today. South Carolina women's basketball, another SEC title. Men's basketball trying to finish strong. Gamecock softball continues its torrid pace. And a naming celebration for Ray Tanner at Founders Park. But first, let's check out the Prisma Health injury report as we turn to the baseball diamond. Unfortunately, some bad news there from the week. Outfielder Kennedy Jones and catcher Talmadge LeCroy missed the midweek games this week. Jones with a shoulder injury and LeCroy with a thumb injury. Hope to have them back real soon, and hopefully no one else on the injury list as the season continues. On to the softball diamond. First-year head coach Ashley Chastain Woodard is off to a great start with the Gamecocks. Last weekend, South Carolina traveled to Durham for a 3-game series at 8th-ranked Duke. The Gamecocks went in and swept all 3 games. Let's take a look.
I'm just really, really proud of not even the result. I'm just proud in your trust and your belief and like all the things that actually take commitment and real commitment, like from your heart. Like you believe in yourself so much that you convince everyone around you just to believe in you with everything they've got, and you leave no room for error when it comes for that.
But it was really good to see you guys grit out a lot of really intense type moments, right? I thought you stayed calm, cool, collected, had a sense of urgency to get the job done, communicated really well. It was awesome all the way around the board, okay? Keep that one. Okay, keep them close. We're going to need it all year long. Okay, let's keep making them believe, right? Keep making them believe.
Hungry as ever. Rocky Balboa with a score never settle. Dying to live cause we living forever. Only reflect what you hold as your treasure. They killing the villains and heaven the fellas. Say you love children, but children you said it. Protect me out, that's the reason I said it. Dying to live cause we living forever.
With the 3-game sweep, the Gamecocks would move into the top 10 in a few of the national polls and were ranked as high as 9th in some of those polls. Gamecocks with the big 3-game sweep of the Blue Devils. And Ari Rhodey, the Gamecock first baseman, hit a home run in all 3 games. She was named SEC Player of the Week. Stick around. We'll have more on Gamecock Insider coming up right after the break. Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Backstreet's Grill. Join us every Thursday at Backstreet's Grill on Divine Street for Carolina calls from 6 to 7 p.m. Visit backstreetsgrill.com to learn more about their unique food and drink options.
I know what it takes to build a winning team, and I see that shining brightly every day in our long-standing partnership with Prisma Health. As our official team physicians, Prisma's commitment to helping our players achieve their best gives us an advantage every time we take the court. Prisma is illuminating a better view of health from every angle for all of our Gamecock athletes and for the communities across South Carolina and beyond. There's nobody our team trusts more, as together we see a healthy, hopeful way forward.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's Game Day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
They say home is where the heart is, and that's never been more true than it is right here.
Right now, in Colonial Life Arena. Colonial Life reminds us to stand together, no matter what.
And to lift each other up, both in support and celebration.
And the Gamecocks win!
So, if you're a Colonial Life policyholder,
business owner, community partner,
or a fellow fan,
thank you.
Because you make this house
our home.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experience in the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
Welcome back to Gamecock Insider. Well, South Carolina women's basketball won its 4th straight SEC regular season title and 9th in the last 12 years under Coach Dawn Staley after defeating 15th-ranked Kentucky to close out the regular season. Before that game, South Carolina honored its seniors who have been a part of 4 SEC titles and 3 Final Fours and, 2 national championships. Check it out.
Ray, you told me when we were recruiting you that you were coming here to win championships. Not one, multiple ones. And your word has come true through and through. And we're not done yet. Underneath your bust downs, underneath your thick lashes, you are truly funny. You're wholesome. I just thank you for your contributions on the court, off the court. Breezy, we don't have enough tongues to thank you for what you meant to us. You persevered, you sat, you watched, you started, you came off the bench, you shared, you've loved, you've won. All great qualities that you brought to us as Gamecocks. Fagan, you know you are near and dear to my heart for a lot of reasons. You have an incredible heart for the right thing. Thank you for all that you've given to our Gamecocks. Everything. Your voice will never be forgotten. An incredible class. The only class that has won more than one national championship. You're leaving a legacy of winning. We couldn't have done everything that we've done in our program. Bottom line, you're a winner. You're always going to be a winner. Thank you for bringing your winning ways to all of us Gamecocks.
So the Gamecocks honor their seniors and go out in style by knocking off 15th-ranked Kentucky and winning yet another SEC title. Time for our Terminex Pest Player of the Week. We'll stick with women's basketball. Junior Chloe Kitts finished the regular season strong. She posted a triple-double at Ole Miss last week and then followed that up with a double-double in the win over 15th-ranked Kentucky. It was her 8th of the year, first triple-double for a Gamecock since Aaliyah Boston did it in 2021. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk men's basketball. Stick around.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome!
I like it. I love it.
Right now, get 1.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid. That's just 1.99% APR on the Toyota Tacoma Hybrid.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
They say home is where the heart is, and that's never been more true than it is right here.
Right now, in Colonial Life Arena. Colonial Life reminds us to stand together, no matter what.
And to lift each other up, both in support and celebration.
And the Gamecocks win!
So, if you're a Colonial Life policyholder,
business owner, community partner,
or a fellow fan,
thank you.
Because you make this house
our home.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experience in the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
Good hard work has earned Faith Koo the title of Colonial Life Academic Athlete of the Week. A member of the women's swim team, Faith is an international business major at South Carolina. This week's Academic Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Colonial Life. Colonial Life, the benefits of good hard work.
Hit high and deep to left field. Littler back to the wall. Touch them all. 9th home run of the year for Ari Rhodey.
That's our Sansbury Eye Center. Did you see that play? As Ariana Rhodey is now homered in 5 straight games heading into the weekend. Well, it's been a tough year on the hardwood for South Carolina men's basketball, but the Gamecocks are trying to finish strong heading into the SEC tournament. Last week, the Gamecocks honored their seniors before their final home game of the year against Georgia.
My name is Nick Pringle, Jamari Thomas, Benjamin Bosmas-Fodor, Miles Studi.
I'm Jacoby Wright, and I've been at the University of South Carolina for 4 years.
It's been nothing but a joy and a blessing just to be able to put on the Gamecock jersey and go out there and do what I love.
It's nothing like playing at home and representing your home state.
So it meant everything to me just to come home, play in front of my family.
I thank Coach Parrish for, giving me the opportunity to come play here. This year has been life-changing for me and my family.
I hope that people kind of look at my story and are inspired.
I want to be remembered as, someone who's loyal to their city.
They gave it his all every time I step out there.
I always was a light, a beacon of energy, somebody that was just seen as a leader.
Gamecock Nation, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys.
We appreciate the love and support, throughout the season.
Welcoming me with open arms, warm hearts.
It's been nothing but a blessing and a joy to experience the love and the support that you guys have offered me, not only myself, but this team.
I will be forever grateful and forever think back to this place, this university, and this people with a very, very warm heart.
I take a lot of pride playing for my home state. I think that's the biggest thing. If you want to represent where you're from, come to South Carolina and do your thing.
I know what it takes to build a winning team, and I see that shining brightly every day in our long-standing partnership with Prisma Health. As our official team physicians, Prisma's commitment to helping our players achieve their best gives us an advantage every time we take the court. Prisma is illuminating a better view of health from every angle for all of our Gamecock athletes and for the communities across South Carolina and beyond. There's nobody our team trusts more, as together we see a healthy, hopeful way forward.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome.
I like it. I love it.
Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $379 a month for 36 months, plus $1,750 bonus lease cash. That's just $379 a month on the Toyota Tacoma.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player. Like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Welcome back to Gamecocks Insider. Ray Tanner is a legend for South Carolina athletics. You know the story, longtime baseball coach who won a couple of World Series titles and recently stepped down after 12 years as the athletics director for the Gamecocks. And South Carolina recently honored him on the baseball diamond, as it's now Ray Tanner Field at Founders Park. He sat down with Patrick DeMarco and Steven Garcia on Tailgate Talks over on Gamecocks Plus. Let's take a look.
You're recruiting short guys that are a little bit chunky. Yeah. What? Get some good-looking players. I did tell our right fielder and left fielder, you guys stay close to the line. Yeah. Jackie, he'll get the alleys. Don't worry about the alleys. He's got it covered.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Who's the hitter you want out?
Golly. It's been a great run, and I've been honored to be here for so long.
All right, first off, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
We are here at Home Team Barbecue in 5 Points, right here in Columbia, with Coach Tanner. Appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight.
I'm delighted to be with two legends tonight. This is my first.
We're baby legends compared to you. You did it a lot longer than us. You had a lot more success than us.
You guys got a lot more publicity than I did.
Not all good. That's for sure.
But first off, thank you. I mean, long time, a lot of success here at Carolina. 2 national championships, baseball, 3 women's basketball, 1 equestrian. I mean, what was the total year count here at South Carolina?
This is 29, actually.
29.
29. So listen, I'm honored. I'm humbled to have been here so long, live in the same house. It's just been great. Now, I'm married a Carolina grad.
Yep.
So when we were up at NC State, she always said, I'd love to go back to be a part of the Gamecock country.
Yep.
I said, well, there's only one job. I'm just a coach.
Yep.
There's one job, needle in a haystack. She said, well, you never know. Sure enough, the call came. She said, we'll take it. I said, well, how much? She said, I didn't ask. So
what'd you sign me up for?
Yeah, that's how it works. But
that's incredible.
It's been a great run, and I've been honored to be here for so long.
I'll tell you what, 29 years, you don't see that nowadays.
No, there's so much turnover everywhere. I mean, shoot, you were baseball coach for how many was it?
16.
16, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
So thank you for all you've done here, all the success, all the memories. I didn't grow up a Carolina fan. I grew up in Gainesville, Florida. He was in Tampa. I grew up in Orlando, but both my parents went to Florida, so I grew up a Gator fan. Came up here and was mind blown what Gamecock Nation's like, and living here now with my wife and 4 kids. So part of that is your success. I actually went out to the 2011 national championship out in Omaha.
That was a good trip.
Field. That was a good trip. My dad put it, it was me, there was like 6 of us guys. We had 1 hotel room. He had Marriott points, and he's like, I got the trip, don't worry, your buddies don't need to pay, thinking it was gonna be a 2 to 3 day trip, and it ended up being like 7 days. And he's like, you actually need to collect some money from your buddies, because I didn't have that many points to cover it all. So thank you for those memories.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Went out there. You guys won 2010 and 11, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember me and my dad went out in both years, just for the.
I remember
final.
when you were out there, you got some publicity.
Yeah.
He was sober?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Hyman was.
He was zoned in.
Mr. Hyman was literally like following me like this, and I'm like, dude, back off, man, back up a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I remember looking around at Omaha and like seeing some of the girls that were out there. I'm like, oh my god, out of Omaha, like this is insane. But that was such a cool experience, man. And then for you guys beat Florida. You guys had, was it Florida that they?
We'll get into all that.
Yeah, we'll get in 2010. We beat UCLA, and in 2011 we beat Florida in the championship. But you got it started in 2010 with the big Alabama win. We just kind of said, okay, hold on, we got to. Football team's doing big things. Let's go.
Yeah, you
So
guys
leveled up.
You took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You guys started it out, and we said, come on, we can do this.
But I think one of the coolest things about you and your success is like you did a lot of really cool things, winning 2 national championships coaching wise, but you won at home too. Your wife Karen and all your kids. How did you balance all that from coaching and then to being AD, and as rigorous as that was? How did you, like, winning on both sides is really hard. How did you do that and execute? I mean,
I'd like to tell you that I deserve credit for that. Sometimes you have to be real lucky, and you have to marry over your head, which you guys did. So I get it. But she's awesome. She came from the world of intercollegiate athletics, being a trainer, so she knew the lifestyle. But like you, we had little kids, and she made it work. And I was able to go out and do what I did. And the great thing, though, being a coach and going through those times was perspective. So when you went home, it was perspective. It was like, hey, you got babies? You got to take the trash out? I don't care if you just beat Clemson. That's not that big a deal.
There was a war on the baseball. There's also a war going on at home.
Yeah, so you just follow the order. So it's perspective.
Yeah, I bet.
That's very well said. That's a very good point. That's a good point. But what's the difference? I got a quick question. What was the difference between going from coaching to the athletic director?
It wasn't, I could go back in time, but when I was an undergrad and I went to grad school, I thought I was going to be an administrator. I thought that that was my ticket, that I loved college sports. I loved what it stood for. I played. And I said, you know what? I think I understand the dynamics here, and I can make a difference in the lives of student athletes. I was one. I get it. And I know there's football, there's basketball, and there's the other sports. So I kind of thought that was my path. But through getting my master's paid for by being a graduate assistant in baseball, I became a coach, a recruiter. Well, that went pretty well, and then I ended up taking that path because I could recruit a little bit. We won, and ended up being a head coach at 27. So I got a head job early. But then after all those years, and I was 9 years at NC State, come down here for 16, I always told Dr. Mike McGee, who hired me, I said, I'd love to get back into administration at some point. Pastides, the same thing. And didn't know that it would happen the way that it did. But when your mentor, Mr. Hyman, decided to go to Texas A&M, you know, there I was.
The door was open,
And I just finished my 25th year, and we had won in Omaha, and lost Arizona in Omaha. So the timing was like, okay, the coaches here supported me to move into that role. The board, the administration, I'm like, this is maybe that it's time. But I was fortunate. I knew all the staff. I knew the coaches. So it's not like I came in. I didn't come into a new environment. It's like, you guys do what you do, and I'll try to add to the process. So
Wish you could have done that earlier. Just a few years earlier.
One thing I always wanted to coach this guy. You know that? I always did.
I guess that goes into, I mean, Coach Spurrier threw Eric Hyman under the bus and said it was Eric Hyman's decision. Well, really it was your decision because you failed a drug test to get kicked off the team eventually.
That's still debatable.
But, yeah, I mean, shoot, you were would you have given him as many strikes?
He wouldn't have needed that many strikes. We would have gotten it right long before then. He and I would have had some private meetings.
This stubborn
Yes,
dude?
yes. It would have been like a wild horse. I would have broke him in short time. I told you that at the bowl game.
I know.
We went to you were practice one day, and I said, man, I would have loved to have coached you. We would have gotten there like quick. But my question is this for you guys. So y'all were together. So his name pops up from time to time. Your name didn't pop up. Why not?
I would.
Well, listen,
I
come
was.
on.
He was very sneaky.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Generally, when Steven got in trouble, I was out of town. And
Of course you were.
Almost every
Isn't that
time.
funny how that works?
You ran for the hills.
Well, before I got here, because he was one of the first to enroll early. He came in December, and that was kind of unheard of back in 2007. He didn't do himself any justice before I got here. He was already in trouble twice. I remember when my mom dropped me off. We were in Bates West because they were redoing East Quad.
Bates West.
Or Bates House, whichever one it was. We go in and the room's all set up. There's posters and empty liquor bottles, and the place is a wreck. And I remember my mom like coming in and hugging before she left. She said, "Patrick, I love you. Please don't get in too much trouble with him." And sure enough, I didn't get in much trouble. I like kind of steered clear. I navigated. But no, we had a lot of fun. We worked hard on the field, but we also partied hard right across the street, actually.
We made it work until we didn't.
Jackery, talk about kind of building the culture. I mean, South Carolina's always had a pretty good historical baseball team here, but when you came in and took over, you really took it to the next level. Talk about like creating that culture, how you could sustain that culture, the type of guys that you wanted to recruit to was able to withhold it. Talk about that a little bit.
I think, you know, as a young coach, you have your mind made up about certain things. You're either all in or you're not. And I was, and I was in the ACC, but it happened in the SEC. I mean, just like now. I mean, a lot of student athletes, men and women, where do they want to play? They want to play in the SEC.
Just, it means more.
Well, it does mean more. And,
really
and
does.
I wanted to be in the SEC because if you can win in the SEC, you can win it all. And I was one of those guys that really, I mean, you're going to come to South Carolina and you're going to get your brains beat in and you can win it all. Well, eventually, you know, I thought that way.
It's a process,
and that's one reason I wanted to be here. And look, before me, Bobby Richardson, great foundation. June Raines followed him. college baseball here was pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I just had a chance to build on that, and they were great at what they did, and they made the World Series. And we were able to finish it off, but they had done a lot of work before I ever got here. So it was just one of those things that you have in my mind. If I remember asking Dr. McGee when we won our first title, I said, when you hired me, did you ever really think that we could win it all? It was a serious question.
Yeah.
You know what his answer was?
Of course.
No.
Oh.
He said, he didn't say no. He said, I wasn't sure you could win it all, but I knew you thought you could.
Yeah.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player, like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's Game Day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Backstreet's Grill. Join us every Thursday at Backstreet's Grill on Divine Street, where Carolina calls from 6 to 7 p.m. Visit backstreetsgrill.com to learn more about their unique food and drink options. Welcome back to Gamecock Insider. It's time to go on the road with Toyota. Men's basketball will be in Nashville for the SEC tournament, which starts on Wednesday. And track and field competes at the NCAA Indoor Championships in Virginia Beach beginning on Friday. On the road with Toyota, let's go places. That's going to do it for this week's edition of Gamecock Insider. I'm Brad Muller. We'll do it again next week. Go Gamecocks. We'll see you next time.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.